Hey, it's another day. Mustang content's on its way. Stay tuned. So previously I tried to do my runs and see what my best times was to compete with Darius, and I happened to run out of nitrous. It is dead on empty, so I was caught slacking pretty much, and I will not let that happen again. So while I was disappointed that I ran out of nitrous, I also remembered that I got a little something probably a year and a half, 2 years ago now, that I've yet to put on the car. I got a GlowShift Nitrous pressure gauge. Okay, there's the part number. It's a tin color, and yeah, I'm extremely excited to get this installed. It does say boost on the thing, but if you look right there, it says nitrous pressure. So I'm going to open it up. Watched a lot of videos online, and nobody really opens it up and shows you what's inside. They just get to installing it. So let's open it up and get to looking. So when you slide it out, this is how it looks. Faceplate, everything is back here in this. So with that open, here's the wiring harness. Here is the pressure sensor that goes on the bottle. This is for your power and ground and stuff for the gauge, as far as the head unit lighting up. And then it's got this bezel, so you can angle it toward the driver if you need to. It also has a bracket, but I will be using this right here. Much like my AEM wideband gauge, it'll be in a JSR, John Smith Racing 3D printed bezel here. So I'm gonna get that put in and then run everything. But yeah, the bottle's empty, so I want to get this installed in this opportunity that I have here. So as you can tell by how frosty it is, there was a little bit of nitrous in there, but it wasn't enough to where when I turn on the bottle heater, my pressure was not anywhere near here. It was still down in the 550, 600 range. So it wasn't completely empty, like bone dry, but it was completely empty, as in I sure can't do anything with it. I don't know if y'all can see that coming out, but yeah, it's extremely cold. This bottle is freezing right now. So take precautions, set it on something, slowly open the valve. If you think you got a little bit in there, if you've never had nitrous in it, it's a different story. So basically I'm going to be taking this off because I don't need it anymore, because the pressure gauge sensor will go there and everything will be ran up front. And I'll probably just run it on the inside through the back seat delete, down the passenger side, go down the kick rail here and up to the gauge here. So at least that's how I'm planning on doing it. I hope that works out. The instructions are very clear. The harness can only be plugged in one way, and that plugs into the back. And then this harness for that is, you have your red for your 12 volts switch source, so when the key's on, it's on. The orange going to your headlight switch, so when you turn on your headlights, it knows to light up. The constant, yellow, so it's always got some kind of memory power going to it. And then of course your ground. So it's going to be very simple with what I already have installed in the dash. So that's how it looks in there. I ran the wires through, so now I can pull this out just enough to route that down, and I'm going to go down the passenger side. And then I'm going to use the existing wiring that I have for all my nitrous stuff, as far as the power and ground and all that stuff. So let's get these in and go from there. Ignore the door chime, just showing you that it's wired up and working. It's reading nothing now because the pressure switch is not hooked up, but all the power and everything is. Okay, everything is just tapped into the stuff I already had existing. You can change the faceplate. I'll probably go with red to match that, and I got it hooked to the dimmer switch, so it does dim when I turn on my lights and it's not blinding you. It doesn't dim when you turn the knob, but it does dim in regular mode. So, and it's still bright enough if I run it with the headlight switch on, because I run my corners so I can have my fog lights on, because, you know, it's all about looking cool. You can still read it, so there's plenty of light. So now I'm going to run that to the back and go from there. Well, they say if it can happen, it will happen. The harness is too short. When I tuck it in and run it, it literally cannot go from here to the trunk. So I don't know if this was meant for a single cab pickup truck, or if they're used to people mounting the bottle on the back seat. I don't know. But yeah, that's clearly not long enough. So I'm going to write them and see if they have an extension harness, or I might have to extend it myself. Hoping not, because it is pretty small wiring. But at the same time, if I have to, it's not the end of the world. So I got tired of messing around. I wrote them, I called them. It's hit or miss with that company. But so I extended the harness. I don't know where I need it cut at, but all I did is cut the pigtail off and extend it. I'm just using these for now. They do offer an extended harness, but they do not offer a harness extension, if that makes sense. I was hoping they would have a female that would plug into this, give you another 3 or 4 foot of harness, and then just be plug and play. But no, they have an 18-foot harness, which is double what comes stock, the 9-foot. But I would have to reroute all of that, take all that out, and do all that, which in the future is not going to be that big of a deal. But for sake of this video, I just extended the harness. There's nothing wrong with it. I got good copper power ground, and the signal wire, that's real copper. So everything should be good. I'll just make the connectors on the end and put everything back together. All right, and there it is, all wired up. So I did the connectors. I wrapped each connector individually, then wrapped all the connectors together, so I can put wire loom over that, and it'll not look any out of place. So I had some of this older wire loom from a fog light harness laying around. I just reused that, but everything looks nice and neat now, and I got plenty of room. And then I'll show y'all what I did while I was waiting for a reply. So basically, this is how the bottle sits in the car looking up. The pressure sensor, or the sensor for the bottle heater, was on this side. The wiring comes in on this side, and the wiring harness for the bottle heater is on this side. So I flipped the 2 sensors. So now this is the pressure, this is the bottle heater, and then you have the nozzle there. So I'm going to get this basically loosely put in for right now, because it's empty. That's another thing I want to go over. They make a line adapter for right here. So basically it would come off, and then it would have a port where you could put this, where it would read pressure only when the bottle is open. I may go that route eventually, but I didn't have that, so I'm just going this route for right now. This can be blocked off with a fitting. They did include some in the kit. I did take one out to put my nitrous gauge there also. So yeah, that's about it for that. Like I said, this is for bottle pressure. Even when it's closed, it's going to read bottle pressure. When it's open, the pressure is going to drop a little, so you got to take that into account. But yeah, a lot of people run it with a port here versus here with the fitting, because they have multiple bottles and they won't want to keep switching this out, which is understandable. So they have a fitting that has 2-way, so they can run the bottle heater sensor, and then the sensor for the pressure gauge. So this is how I have mine. I only have 1 bottle. I don't plan on buying a ton of bottles and switching them out every week. I don't do that much drag racing, so I'll just bring it to them like this as is, and I can fill it, and then I'll get it back like this as is. So, all right, I got it all in the duffel bag out list. And there's the sensor for the bottle heater, and here is the bottle pressure sensor right here. You can't really see it, but yeah, there we go. All loomed up, all looking good. Now I can put the duffel bag over it and zip it up, and it looks like there's just a duffel bag sitting in my trunk. All right, everything's ran to the back. Nothing is exposed anywhere. Everything's loomed. So turn the key on. Just got to adjust, but showing it's about 18 psi in there. The bottle is closed, and the fittings are open, so you close the bottle. If you screw a fitting in, it does kind of close the airspace in there, but it's going to be more accurate when there's actual pressure in there. Yeah, there's going to be it'll be more accurate when the pressure's in there. It's just trying to figure out why there's nothing there. It fits snugly in this right here, and like I said, it's got a bunch of different colors, but I will stick with red because that's what matches my AEM. And yeah, that's it. So don't get caught slacking. Well, this gauge right here does the job if you want to get out and look. Now it's in the cab, you ain't gonna catch me lacking anymore. So when this bottle gets filled, I can keep tabs on that pressure all the time. So got more content coming on the Mustang. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Hope it helped somebody. I didn't really do a real big install, but it's very simple. Find your wires. That's like everything, radio, any of that stuff. And then the harness needs to be either extended, or you need to buy the 18-foot harness, which I'll leave a link in the description for the one I have. They have two different ones, so just make sure you pay attention, make sure it matches your nitrous pressure gauge. But yeah, that's it. I'm excited to get some more nitrous in this bottle and see how things go. But that's it for now. Thank y'all for watching. This is Horseplay. We out.
I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 16 bars. I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shoot for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with the 16 bars. I won't turn around, I won't turn around. No matter how far I go, I'll never